It's a common fact that narcissists leech off of more than one person at a time. They have sources that are work-related, romantic, friendly, family, and everybody in between. A narc is always juggling these people and making sure that they go where the supply is best at all times. In this video, I want to talk about some very clear signs that a narc has you on the back burner and that you are the absolute last resort. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess Stanley. I'm a survivor of a toxic relationship, now dedicated to spreading awareness and helping survivors find clarity and recovery. Narcs are extremely low investment. We know this as an absolute fact. These things on my list don't necessarily point to narcissism, but I think it's important to see signs of a person who is low investment and not really very interested, even though they're around. We have a misconception that just because somebody is around, they're interested and they're invested. And we need to think about some of these things before we carry on with a person, and not just romantically, in a business situation, a friendship, situation, whatever it is. So here are some signs that we are very much on the back burner. Number one, they are suddenly the busiest person that you've ever met. Okay, let's get a couple of things straight, like right now. You're never too busy for something or someone that's important to you. And I'll tell you something else, neither are they. None of us are ever too busy that we stop being considerate either. There are excuses that toxic, narky people make when they don't feel like they need to get back to you in a timely manner and they don't need to deal with you. Everything is always going to be on their terms when they want something and when they don't. You'll get the, oh, sorry, been so busy. I bet you haven't been. You just don't care how long you make me wait. I'm not important. And that's the behavior. Or they're just some kind of busy idiot moving too fast for their own good, too many hands and too many cookie jars. But we can't fix a busy idiot, and not today especially. But honestly, great advice right here. When someone tells you that they're too busy all the time, believe them. They're too busy for you, and they're too busy all the time with whatever it is. Doesn't mean much to you what it is. Just keep it moving. Number two, they pull that last minute flake out. This is pretty similar to number one, but I do want to mention it. This is when you get the text or the call, like literally the second that you're walking out the door and it's, ooh, sorry, yeah, not going to be able to make that. Ooh, can't swing by, won't, blah, blah, blah. Who the hell cares? We know what it is. They more than likely never really planned on doing whatever it was to begin with. You were probably future faked, and then that made you happy or satisfied in that moment when they said, yes, I will, blah, blah, blah. But now that it's time for them to hold up their end of the bargain, they've decided, nope. I mean, truthfully, they decided no a long time ago. It's just that you're just now finding out about this in the very super last minute. When someone last minute dips like this, it's very telling. Normally, other plans came up, or like I say, they were never intending on doing whatever it was in the first place. Now, we're not going to go to jail for something like this, but again, I just want everyone to be aware that it's extremely rude, which we know, but also very low investment. You're not important. You're not a priority. I can deal with you however I want to. I can cancel plans last minute. You're not supposed to be offended by this or think this is rude. It's someone who's getting you to lower your standards and lower what you expect from them. Number three, they never reach out to you. Beware those who will talk to you but won't talk to you, if that makes sense. If you're always the one who has to text or call or reach out in some way, the other person is simply not interested. I do have to make a small segue right here. This might also be a person who still has an archaic way of thinking that certain people always need to reach out first, and certain people always need to be the ones who initiate the contact. Yeah, no. Welcome to 2023, where we can all speak freely here regardless of whatever's happening in whatever social situation or circle that brung you. So I just want to say that there are some people who have this preconceived notion that they get to sit back and you are to reach out to them. So you just go on ahead and let them know that that's not the way things are going to work. But most of the time, we're not talking about that. Most of the time, this person's not initiating because they're not interested. And I want to say this once more. It's not necessarily a sign of narcissism or anything, but very immature, very apparent, and very low investment, just shitty behavior that we need to be aware of. If it's always you and you start to feel like you're the only one that's holding anything together and holding up your end of the bargain, then you're the only one who's doing that. And you need to think about how that makes you feel before you continue to engage. I'm not suggesting that you stop engaging. Again, this is just more so to bring awareness really to this kind of stuff. I think it's important. People who behave this way, opportunistic people, are looking for the ones who do all of the dirty work. And you'll find that these people normally only ever really reach out when they need something. It's rare that you hear from them to begin with, but when you do hear from them, it's, oh, hey, since we're talking, will you, something along those lines. So remember who's doing the heavy lifting and who's doing the dirty work in something that's supposed to be a team effort. Send an email to bookachatwithjess@gmail.com or visit my website if you would like to talk with me and get some help and support from a fellow survivor. All the information you need is on the screen for you now and also down in the description, available anytime. Number 4. They commit to absolutely nothing. Yeah, you know what? Let's just keep our options open. And let's just see what happens. Oh, I can't promise that I'll make it, but you know what? I'll do my best to swing by. Ugh, gross. We all know one of these wishy-washy, annoying as shit kind of people where you cannot get them to commit to a damn thing. And I'm not just talking a relationship either. I'm talking they can't commit to a movie, a concert, a dinner, a bike ride, a nothing. Those who you can never get a definite answer from are putting themselves in that prime position. They get all the offers and they only have to say yes to what they think is the best. They tell you and me, well, let's see. We'll see what happens. That's a very ambiguous, open-ended answer. It's not a hell yes, but it's not a hell no. So we wait. But they can say yes to somebody else if something better comes along. And we can't get disappointed because it becomes, well, I mean, what are you so mad about? I told you maybe I'd show up and maybe I didn't. So maybe I didn't. What's your problem? You're kind of left there in the dust feeling bad about yourself. They don't care because they never lied to you. They told you maybe and then ran with what they thought was the better deal. Number 5. They take forever to get back to you. Now, I have to be very careful here. You don't want someone clinging to you up your ass, texting back every 2 seconds, and they have a response for you before you hit send, or you go to dial their number, but your phone's ringing. You don't want that. I know people got to get a life, but when you're waiting hours and hours and hours and days for responses that should not take that long to get, we have to take the hint that we are not even a blip on this person's radar. They'll tell you whatever they want, whenever they want, and they don't care. But also be aware, this might be a form of punishment. Highly toxic people like narcs love to punish you if you don't do whatever it is that they're wanting you to do, which is like something every second. So it is a possibility that you might be getting a silent treatment, and that's why they're not responding to you. Either way, think about whether or not this is something that you want to continue to tolerate from this person or from people in general. And if it's something that you don't want to tolerate, begin to think about how you're going to handle those situations. Number 6, they never clue you in on what they're doing. Secrecy is a very, very low form of manipulation. I mean, it's a lot of things, but I think we've all either known the person or we've been the person where we've asked someone to go somewhere, do something, whatever, and they go, oh, no, man, look, I can't. I'm broke. I got to walk my fish. My grandmother's on fire. My space shuttle's in the shop. Something's happening and I can't go. And you go, okay, fine, whatever. But then you see they went out with somebody else. They went to a different club. They went to a different bar. They went to a movie theater across town. They did ABCXYZ. They told you a big scandalous bunch of bullshit and went and did something with somebody else in a different place. When you are not allowed to be part of the club, when you're not allowed to be in the group or in the know, however you want to word it, ask yourself, what's really happening in that little clique, in that little club? And do you really want to be there? And do you really want to be a part of it? Deceptive people are some of the most sinister people in the world. It might bother them to be this way. It might not. But clearly, they're not losing that much sleep over it, are they? And that's something to really think about. If you can lie right into my face and go and do something else, let's talk about number 7. They flat out lie, like right into your face. And it goes without saying, but again, I want to make it its own point and I won't linger here. It doesn't bother them to lie. They need the best supply possible. It's not about you. You just need to shut up and step aside. But it might be you at some point. You might be the best. So they can't ditch you completely. They're going to have you in this weird limbo, this weird middle ground where they lie to you. They don't dish you and ditch you completely, but they're just definitely pushing you to the back burner as they lie to you. And again, they don't care. Number 8, they fake sick. And I had to add this one because it happened to me and it's just so funny. Like, I can't not share it. So the narc that I dealt with all of a sudden got so unhealthy. I thought I was going to have to keep them in a bubble. It was a headache that turned into migraines. It was always some kind of stomach issue. And before you know it, they had full-blown Crohn's disease. And I look back now, honest to God, survivor, and I wonder how the loser didn't have feline leukemia and lower resale value on their home. If you get the joke, I appreciate you. But anyway, sick or sad. It's a definite way that they get all kinds of shit that they want and they don't have to deal with anything that they don't want to. Here's the thing. If someone tells you they're sick or sad, you're typically not going to get angry with them when they tell you they can't or won't do something. It's the best way to get out of a situation and be very non-confrontational. This is going to happen a lot with the covert narcissist. Oh, I'm sick, I'm sad, I don't feel good, blah, blah, blah. It's really, really common, this one right here, and I just wanted to share because it's too damn funny. If you have similar stories, share with me down in the comments. Also, anything else that you want to share in the comments. What made you feel like the last resort? Was it them always faking they had some kind of magical, fantastical illness, or was it something else? Tell me down in the comments. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.